one more quick thing. As far as street performers, garbage collectors, and technics and Technic, there's only one, me and the last czar, Niklaus, and our son, Alexei, and I would be his Fräulein for Freuline. We have extra specialness and extra special and extraordinary words, specific purpose. There's a lot of specificity in our relationship. Which is why leaving us to do this is so confusing for the two, well, for me, and Alex doesn't even know what he's supposed to be or have. But every time I mention it to him, I did ask him tonight, I said, Alexander, I said, as we go down Bayside and we're walking the street with all the people outside, which is rare in Bayside, I said, there's a lot of noise and traffic, and it just, it was so gross. I was like, it's just so dirty, with all the cars, automobiles. So I said, do you ever feel like you're in the wrong time? And he looks at me and he goes, all the time, Mom. And I go, really? I was like, you too? And he goes, yeah. And I said, huh. I said, so like if cars never existed and we went back, like I said, is it just the city or is it like just, what do you think it is? He goes, I don't really know. And I said, yeah, no, I know. I was like, you and I are built for something else and someone else, and we belong in like the Alps of Austria, like Innsbruck, or like somewhere in Germany, I don't know, somewhere, or whatever, Ukraine, somewhere not around here. I was like, but so, I don't know, he at least gives me solace because he's the only living, breathing, immaculate like myself that I have access to, and now it's in limited quantities. So you know that you're not crazy, because at least there's one other carbon copy of yourself. Okay, so, where was I going? Oh, right. The Fräulein was super important, especially when I was at Swenson's ice cream shop in Huntington with Tsar Niklaus. One random, he stopped by and we went to go see Dancing with Wolves with Kevin Costner in a movie theater, in the local Huntington movie theater. And then he got to spend a little bit of time, but then he had to go. Vicky Gambardella was having a big sleepover. Jackie Leiberg and I were there. I told this story once before, but then I left. And it was weird because I wanted to just talk about Niklaus, and after he had left, just privately with Jackie. And then all of the other kids were like, oh, we're going to go look at like old maps, and like, I don't know, they said some other word. I didn't know what that meant. I asked them what it meant. They were like, oh, we can't tell you, it's secret. And they like ran off. And I was like, okay, great. That means me and Jackie have privacy to talk about the boy that just left. So we did. So like that was the only thing that was important. And then I wound up leaving. I didn't even want to sleep over. So, let's think about this. I said, Jackie, if you're not staying, I'm not staying. There's mosquitoes. Oh, and that was the other thing. On the way in, down the scope, when we noticed about the mosquito and the malaria thing and getting, weird diseases from mosquitoes, I said, I will get rid of the bugs completely because they absolutely annoy me as well. Seeing as how quickly you resolve these human issues, in my lifetime. So here we are at 41 years, and 150 before, and you people and humans have been not helpful at all at getting any of what I needed accomplished. So, but I do need reprogramming to get the mosquitoes to stop biting me, because it seems like they're attracted to my extra special alien DNA, whatever, which I laughed at the movie Spaceballs, because like the guy, like all of a sudden, like he was eating, they said, I think you have indigestion, and then like something like pops out, and I'm like, so I laughed at Alex, and I go, Alex, that's what it's like finding out you have alien DNA. It just like pops out, and you're like, oh my god, is that me? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was like, at least that's a human interpretation on it. I mean, we've seen some stuff, but whatever. I mean, people are superstitious, and then they get like really weird, crazy ideas when you try to diagnostic the street performers. And you're like, that's what you thought? Like, really? How did you come to that logic? Oh, okay. Well, area down. I get it, but I guess stories passed on. Right. So at least we could clarify that in dangerous places, private dangerous places. So this way we don't hurt anybody. Okay. So let's think about this. All right. So. And while they were here, we ate dinner outside. My father barbecued. My father mentioned something that I didn't even know, because I don't follow my father, and him and I don't talk at all. And his business stuff is his business stuff. Just like with Benjamin, he told me he was in ROTC, which was like the Royal, we used to call it Royal Over-the-Counter Air Force. I mean, AERONAV, so it's like a extra special, like, not to put them down, but, Benjamin doesn't even, so I was like, what happened? So he, again, didn't want to, I didn't push, whatever, he's male growing up, that's his, I can only guide him, I can't force him, that would be against, like, my policy, of my own children, anyway. My father was telling me, my father, on the other hand, talk about parenting totally the wrong way. He told me that he was part of some company right before the 2001 .com, whatever, DOTCOM. He had some investor, because he was in like all the wrong things, like fuel cell, FUELS, CELL. These are like impermissible businesses. We're not promoting raising funds and doing all this stuff. I don't know. My father was in like some telecom thing. It was like a LinkedIn or Zoom. Now you have these Zoom shits. Nobody gives a shit. It's all gone. But my father had something where like they were doing this, and it was like big. There was some investment firm, he said. It was like a Lineway or something, and then LINEWAY, like, they have the last mile, most important, the last mile, between the pole and the wire, of telecommunications. So, that's the POLE and WIRE. He had a board of directors, BOARDOVDIRECTORS. I guess they were tapping the line, TAPPING, THELINE, Fraulein's line, no less, which she already documented that her results would be accurate, as she is a diagnostic, and she knows this ahead of time, and she's all area, everybody's protector, and she'll sell you short if you fucking do the wrong thing by her or for her. So here's the thing. Lou is in the bought head cases from yesteryear. We needed to skip over him and get my situation and Alexander correct, because nobody cares about Lou going in the wrong direction, already bought by the enemy from yesteryear that now is hiding in his head and communicating via, like, alien antenna. I don't know what the hell you want to call yourselves. So, it's more like a computer and pushing thoughts into his face to do things and give him, like, I call it sublingual, SUBLINGUAL, so it comes out of your mouth, like, without you even meaning to do it, because you didn't think about it, and it just seemed like a good idea at the time. You're like, oh my god, that's a bright idea, until you find out, like, what's attached as death sentence on the back of it, right? And then you're like, I didn't know, right? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so he was invested in that. They were going to invest in his company, which was located in Trump Tower, TRUMPTOWER, and the address was 40 Wall Street, 40 WALLSTREET. And it was called Worldwide Corporate Network, WORLDWIDECORPORATE. Now, if I document these things as advanced standing from elsewhere, and the most important, more important than the father, and we give it to you, and in my diagnostics of myself, since I'm the only one I can trust to document accurately along with Nicholas, Tsar Nicholas, no less, is that I notice these things, these people, whatever, communicating with my father, what it means, what I need to still be done, and whatnot, best way I can, doesn't mean my front-facing person is in the know, because the documents get prepared and filed light years ahead of when my body returned, so into baby form. And then you guys, normally I would have a fine connection with my tech, TECH, being Cattaruzza Hitler, in the timing of the extraterrestrials from elsewhere. But somebody's been tampering with Technic, and technically, technology, being anatomy, being mine, which is the most off-limits OFFLIMITS to tamper with, based on the fact of how much rides on my one life and Alexander's, and getting Niklaus right for humans to stay safe and alive. Otherwise, like, we really are, like, I'm ready to go. Let's think about this. So the last mile, LASTMILE of cable line, CABLE. That's usually where they put the tap, TAP, for high-speed siphon and stealing information that they shouldn't be touching, for independent contractors that like to interfere on the shitbags in garbage pail kids, right, that the garbage collection department that I love, that's what they hunt for fun. They hunt stupid for a living, and they take out dangerous. That's the service that we provide for the world. So anyway, at my cherry tree of Washington and Jefferson, so I don't know. So they pulled out, because their stock went from like $300 down to like $3. They lost their funding and their board. Then they couldn't invest in Worldwide Corporate Network. My father lost all of his funding. I was married to Jay at the time. I mean, I was looking for a way out. I mean, a nice settlement. He could have, whatever. I mean, it wasn't my money. It would have been my dad's money. And then I could have just been like, bye, Jay. I have enough for a divorce now, finally. And leave, and go back with Nicholas. But apparently that's just too easy for humans at greedy shitbags and thinking they control the world for some reason. Right, no, you just make the world fucking worse when you don't follow along on the papers and the instructions that we give you, that we need you to do and perform. You guys are little human street performers, and God left you words and actions she needed you to go perform. So whatever that means to Yavol and Davol, but we actually had to be careful with Davol, because it almost sounded like divulge, DIVOLGE, which was another thing that I would sit at the meetings on the scope on the way in to protect my favorite garbage collection teams of different whatevers that like to be private, so I could keep a acoustic ear and say, no, that sounds too close. This is what it sounds like, and that's a 9. Yet 9, no, don't do it. That's my 3, my Bermuda short on that for Fraulein, to keep you safe while I'm waiting for everybody to come get me, should I get derailed for whatever reason and they can't do what I need. And quickly. And here we are. Let's think about this. So that was Lewis, right? Doing, let's think about this, like, interviews with people. Oh, and he had some, interview, instead of interview with a vampire, right, he had an interview with a necromancer. I don't know, some guy's name. It sounded like necromancer to my acoustic echo chamber. He said it, I forget, Michael, maybe, Michael Necro something or other, whatever. Sounds like necromancer, right? That's like playing with the dead. Oh, look at that. Okay, so anyway, my dad had paid like $10,000 to interview him, like big shot. I don't know. I didn't even know it went on. I just found out at year 2020 in the nobody gives a shit, and hit, target, get. Hit, tar, get. So here we are. So Nicholas, like, any day now that you want to, like, release the hounds and let him come for me, that would be really fucking great, because I'm tired of just doing this all by myself, waiting on the one other guy that gets it, and he's got a couple of guys that help him out, so whatever.